Hey everybody, well this is going to be an interesting video. It'll be a long video too, so you've been warned. Mgtow paganism is not a unique spiritual path. It is not about what spiritual path you go through. It is meant to be a reminder, a motivation for us men in paganism and in the witch communities to prioritize, focus on ourselves, to get an understanding of who and what we are. Because I've been reflecting a lot on society, with the elections coming up, and I've just not been seeing a lot of good in society. The woke, the left side has been going crazy, making a whole bunch of demands, things that are hypocritical. They just seem to want to go for victimization points, and so they are going crazy with transgendered pronouns and all that. And I just have been thinking about society as a whole, and so I thought about Mgtow a little bit because I do watch a lot of videos about Mgtow and such, and it kind of felt like I should try to fit this into paganism. So before we start off, we need to know some terminology here. What is Mgtow? Mgtow stands for men going their own way. This started off a couple decades ago. Men were getting sick and tired of the dating scene because women were doing a lot of manipulations and using men, because they were demanding equality, but then demanding chivalry at the same time. They were sending a lot of mixed signals, like, we don't need a man, but we need you to pay for everything type situation. Well, Mgtow has evolved over the years, and it is now becoming a way of life for men. And this is why I want to talk about putting this into our pagan life. Because a lot of the messages are now, get rid of the distractions. And unfortunately, with the way women operate today, most women, not all, there are some very wonderful women out there. I'm not here to bash on women, but I will be holding them accountable. Yeah. But it is a way for us to focus on who we are, what's important to us, and building what is important to us. Because if we just try to focus on what is superficial and on women's rules, we end up alone with nothing. And that's wrong. We need to have our lives built for ourselves. And we're the only ones who are going to do it for ourselves. So let's get to it. Let's get focused, know what our goals are, and achieve them. Okay. Simp. Now we hear the word simp a lot. It is an insult. A simp is a foolish person or a man too attentive or submissive to women. Twitch is really bad at this. We have a lot of women that are known as thoughts, which stands for that hoe over there. And we have a lot of men who are subscribed. They send money to these women. We even have a media platform called OnlyFans, where women will strip and do their own personal, like, penthouse playboy hustler type thing. And you subscribe to that, and that's how they get their money. That's just something I personally disagree with. Next term is red pill. This is from the movie The Matrix. Neo was given the option of the red pill or the blue pill. The red pill was to become enlightened, to realize the reality around you, to see everything around you. Next up is the blue pill, which is to remain at your current state. If you are deluded, stay deluded, not seeing the reality around you. Next one, this is a new one to me, and that is the black pill. This is an extremist view. This is a nihilistic view. This is usually men who have had a rough time because they want to be in a relationship very, very badly. And because of all the politics involved with women these days, they have become angry. In recent news, there was a guy in Ohio that was planning on killing over 3,000 women because of this, because he was an incel, meaning involuntary celibate, and he actually at one time had a machine gun and he was going to just kill women. And so this is dangerous. This is why we got to get our heads on straight, guys, because we can't let this happen. Excuse me on my burping. Misogyny. Now, most of us already know what this word is. It's the untrust or hatred of women. Okay. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say that I am a misogynist. And I love women. There are some very amazing women in my life. I have a wonderful daughter that I just love. I've also been in a relationship for now 15 years with Cindy. So I don't hate women. I have a trust issue with women. And the yin to the yang on the last word is misandry, which is the untrust or hatred of men. This is something that women deny. There are women that will say that misandry doesn't exist, but misogyny does. The problem with a lot of the words that we're going to talk about is that there is always a double meaning. If a word can be weaponized, it will be weaponized. There is the one version that is going to make the women look good and one version that's going to make the men look bad. Misandry is one of those words. 304. That's not a word, but it's important. Get out your calculator, put in 304, turn upside down. What word do you see? Hoe. We see a lot of women out there that are using their sexuality and pushing it everywhere. This is true in the pagan communities and all of that. And I'll be showing some of that later. Cuck. C-U-C-K. This is a weak male whose wife or girlfriend is unfaithful and the guy is still staying in the relationship. A good example of this is Will Smith. As many of you should know, Will Smith is married and his wife has had an open sexual relationship with her son's friend. So that is messed up. And cuck is an insult. Okay. Damaged goods. This is a reference to women, although it can be for guys too, with high body counts. Body count is a reference to how many men they have slept with. A lot of women, because they are feeling young, empowered, they're going out there and they are putting themselves out. And some women have extremely high body counts and they don't care. Next one, most of us already know, and that's feminazi. This was popularized by Rush Limbaugh. It is a term to describe radical feminists. A lot of the troubles that we are having, that I perceive that we have in the pagan witch communities, is because of feminism, which is good old Starhawk's problem. For those of you who do not know. Many years ago, Starhawk wrote a book, Gather Round, if I remember the title correctly, And in this book, she wrote down the goddess tradition. This is her path that she created that focuses on the female aspect only. There's no bounds of a goddess tradition, a god tradition, sorry. So back in the late 60s, early 70s, Starhawk was pushing her feminist ideals into paganism. And this is where the trouble started. Next term, modern women. Modern women is a reference to women that have been ruined by third wave feminism. See, there have been multiple waves of feminism that have went through our world. First wave was about like getting the right to vote, being able to go to school and that. And a lot of us men, we have no problems with that. That's fine. But with every additional wave of feminism, we have feminists that want more. And they will say that they're victims, that they are being deprived. But every time we challenge them and saying, in what way, they can't answer it. There are laws out there where women have to be equally paid. They can go to college. They can file for divorce. They have every right and ability that a man can have. And so third wave feminism is more about how they want to be able to have all these luxuries and none of the responsibilities. Because accountability is something that women can't handle. A majority of these women cannot handle. They want you to open up the door, but know that they don't need you. Okay, it's kind of a double standard. Next term is nice guys. Now, this is very important. A nice guy is somebody that uses chivalry and kindness as a mask to their darker side. They are generally hoping that if they show enough kindness, chivalry, that they could possibly get a little nookie from the women that they have been trying to be very nice to. Next one is Nawalt, N-A-W-A-L-T. Not all women are like that. This is funny because, women wanted to always say that, well, men are this, men are that. But when men started to go and to use the same tactic on them, women started to go, well, not all women are like that. And so they could say that most men or all men are rapists, but and they'll say that most of the raps out there are done by men. Well, when men fought back and say, well, how much money did you steal at work today? And they go, we didn't. Well, all women are, embezzlers. Because if you look at the criminal statistics, women do most of that. Okay? They love to take money from the job site and put it in their pockets. I lived in a small town, and we actually had a person who was 2 years younger than me, who was the city clerk. Come on, Tom. And she embezzled close to $50,000 from this small town. Okay. So a lot of the embezzlers out there are actually females, but they are going to say, but not all women are like that. So, and then in response to that, we go, not all men. But they don't like that. They are going to say, that doesn't hold true, but not all women are like that is true. Again, the double standard. Next up is soy boys. This one I always thought was interesting. These are low testosterone men. They're non-aggressive. They are kind of like Sims, where they are, you know, bowing down to ladies. Okay, the wall. Now, the wall is this barrier that all women face, especially when they're young. They're thinking that they can get anything because all they have to do is smile and show a little leg, and guys will give them anything, right? Well, the wall is a point where their age has turned them from woohoo to okay. Well, they're not as beautiful as they once were. And it is at that point where women change their perspectives and all of a sudden want to settle down and find the nice guy instead of being with the bad boy. White knights. A white knight is a male that defends a female with hopes of getting sex. They're like nice guys. Sometimes they're very arrogant. They're closed-minded. They want to believe that all other men are terrible. The last two terms are more pagan terms here. Snowflakes. A snowflake is a person that melts or gives in under any pressure. You question them, you show them some facts, and all of a sudden they're going frantic. They're trying to sidestep questions, change topics, whatever. Don't like snowflakes. Last term is fluff bunnies. Now, a fluff bunny is a pagan, usually a Wiccan, that does this love and light thing. They love everybody, they don't hate anybody, and they want to shun any form of negativity and any person that can be considered negative. So right now, there's probably been 3 or 4 women that have watched this video, and they are already trying to block and ban me. Alright, so what we got to do is we're going to talk about the divine feminine and divine masculine. Because this is one of the biggest problems that we have. Okay. Simply put, the divine feminine is the manifestation of feminine energy in the universe. So this is all of the female population put together. And so when we have so many women that have this terrible ego, attitude, entitlement, the divine feminine is then also turning into this toxic cesspool. We as men have got to separate ourselves from it for a while and try to get it cleaned up a little bit from a safer distance and focus on ourselves. Okay, it is inherent in ourselves. It's important to note that the divine feminine is something that is in everyone, regardless of gender identity, can connect to. Yes. You see, I view all energy as neutral. But yes, there are things that people want to say are masculine and others that are feminine. But right now, the feminine energy is toxic and we need to separate and clean it up a little bit. All right, the divine masculine is an active force of one that is given to seeking truth, freedom, and self-sovereignty. We're trying to develop ourselves. We are trying to create a good world. Mankind, and there's a reason why it's called man, because we did the work, has built this world. A majority of the cities, we built the buildings, the roads, the water system, the electricity. We've done all that. Okay, that's what we build. We provide. And it is being ignored in so many ways. There are a lot of women out there that are going to say that don't need a man. They want to proclaim that this, that, and everything doesn't matter. And, it's just how disrespectful women are of us men. Unlike the divine feminine, which is more passive and receptive force, the divine masculine energy has a will to power. It loves action, and it will do everything it can to find spiritual guidance and its true life path. We want to succeed. We want to be better. We don't want to be the same person we were 2 years ago. We want to be the best that we can be. And so that is our energy. We need to embrace it, focus on it, and actually achieve it. So now, I've been talking about some of the negativities of women. And this is the 304 in my opinion. The pictures that you're going to see here are from a YouTuber. Her name is Scarlett Ravenwood. Now, these are pictures I've taken of some of her thumbnails to her videos. Okay, there she is in a little black lingerie on the floor, trying to look sexy. Sex sells. Okay, she is just like all these other young women who have not hit the wall that think that they can just shake their hips and get views and everything else that they wanted. The next video is, the 5 crystals to manifest success. There she is. This video does not have her on this bed in that position, but she chose a crotch shot to entice viewers. Okay, and there we go on the last one there. Another video of her in something that could be, sexually impressed on people and to sell views, to get attention. And I saw those and I just lost interest in there. One thing that we talk about in Mgtow is what people bring to the table. This is where we negotiate. There are a lot of women out there that just want to go, I brought myself. They think just because they got a nice butt and tits that they can get whatever they want. They can be a 7 and they can get whatever they want because they think that they're young and sexual. The problem is with that is that their beauty degrades because they might have been absolutely stunning at 20, but when they're 30 and everything's starting to sag and wrinkles are setting in, they're not as pretty. They are a declining asset. Where men, as we get older, because we start off 18 with barely anything, and if we work hard, then we're at our prime at like 30 and 40 years old. So by that time, they are not worth much, women looks-wise, but it's what we have, our assets that make us awesome. So I just disagree with a lot of things like that. Delusion. This is some of the delusion. Women are so wrapped up into themselves that for so long that everybody is thinking that they're so awesome.
Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
That's like flawless though.
Yeah, I am flawless.
You're flawless? Okay, so like what, like let's be real this time. Alright, so like on 1 to 10, like for real, like realistically, what would you rate yourself?
A 10.
The delusion is real. Look at this.
Now, I'm not going to fat shame this person, but this was the first video I saw where we saw somebody saying that they're a 10, and they're clearly not. Okay, but this is their delusion, and this is what's tainting the divine feminine. This is what's tainting the pagan and witch communities, and we need to get away from it, guys. Okay, now feminists have distorted us. They want to say that we as men are bad people. you know, the divine feminine is toxic and the divine masculine has been poisoned so much that we need to stop and clean it up ourselves. There is a channel called Spirit Science. If you want to catch some wackadoodle spirituality concepts, watch that channel. So in many of his videos actually, he portrays men as aggressives. In this case, he was saying that the Martians were an incredibly male species. Okay, he is trying to say that us men are aggressive, we're warlike, we're terrible, we're mean. And he has no problem portraying it like this. And this is what a lot of feminists like to think about us, because we are so terrible, supposedly. But then he makes, in the next scene, we have this, where he is portraying that the green character is a female, and that she is this young 14-year-old and being taken over by a 60 or 70-year-old man. Okay, there we go. We are being viewed in a negative fashion, and we need to get rid of this concept that is going against us. And, you know, I gotta find the picture. There it is. So, you know, they have this will to make us look bad at any point in time. And, you know, us men, we're negative and we're nasty, but this is all right. So a female, a mother, can have guns pulled on people, can kill people because she's protecting her kids. And it's all right. But when men do it, it's wrong. And that just irks me. And so we need to go away from this. We need to hold women to the same standards as they hold us. If it is all right for women to take guns to protect their family and it's heroic, well, same thing applies to men. All right. Now, in feminism, they have a lot of, you know, spokespeople, people that represent their radical views. One of these people is Z Budapest. She is a feminist. She is a pagan leader. A few years ago, she was at a pagan con, a pagan meeting, group up type thing. And she put a sign out in front of her little area that only biological women were allowed into her ceremonies. Doesn't matter who you are, unless you were a biological woman, you weren't welcome. No men were allowed. You could not be a trans because you were not a biological woman. Okay? And so she had hatred towards men. Her and I have had at it a few times, and you know, she wants to say that she's a loving person, a loving mother of a son. But I feel sorry for that child, because I would like to know how honest she is with him. Now, the other thing that bothers me, and if you're on social media, you see this a lot, and that is women want to say that paganism is a female religion. There are a lot of white knights out there that like to say that paganism is a female belief system. In this picture we got here, this is women focusing on women. They're shunning men. They're not talking about men. They don't talk about the male aspect. And this irks me too. As this image says, when women support each other, incredible things happen. Well, guess what? I guess when us guys start supporting us guys, wonderful things can happen too. But it should be when we support each other. But they're so wrapped up in themselves that they refuse to see this. And that just, And this is the other thing that I see. I've made a couple of videos about this. On social media like Facebook, I see 10 times a day where women are posting things, thank goddess for this, thank goddess for that. But they don't mention a god. They don't show any appreciation for it, the male aspect. And paganism is not a female god religion. It's not. Paganism is about nature, balance, harmony. It is about the male and female aspects working together, combining to create love. Okay? Wicca, traditional Wicca itself, talks about the Lord and the lady. It doesn't just talk about the lady, it talks about both, Lord and lady. They are different but equal. No, none of them are placed above the other. And feminism has corrupted this in ways too. I got into trouble over this one, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Excuse me. And that is, there are a lot of women that have double matron goddesses. You know, when they say Lord and Lady, they have a lady and a lady. Now, yes, they are allowed to follow any belief system they want. We have religious freedoms. People should be able to follow the belief that makes them happy. Okay? But it is hard to say that you're following Wicca when you are absolutely shunning the God at every moment. I have confronted many, many women about this, and they say that they honor a God, and I challenge them, and I says, go through your timeline and show me the last time you posted an image that supported or gave thanks to a God concept. I have not had one do it yet. I've had 4 of them block me because they could not answer the damn question. They refused to. Balance, harmony, hell. It's not in there. Women are so wrapped up in themselves, they are giving paganism a bad look. Okay, you go look at witch talk and you see TikTok videos about witches. Okay, and you're going to see it's like 90% of them are these young women, and they are dancing around and they're saying that they're this or that. They're going to take these little jars and they're going to make these witch jars for this, witch jars for that. Sometimes they're just throwing stuff in there and they're given no rhyme or reason for anything. And so I hate the concept of TikTok as a source of education because those videos are so short and all that. That's why I love YouTube so much more, even with all of its flaws. At least you can sit down and explain things. I think YouTube is better at teaching witchcraft and paganism compared to what TikTok could ever be. So, we talk. I don't really mean to be bashing on women, honestly, but there has got to be some accountability involved here, and that's something that a lot of the females around the society these days can't handle. Because once you hold them accountable for their actions, they want to change subjects and run away. So, guys, what we need to do is better ourselves. We need to figure out what we want to be better. I'm proud of you men. This is a meme that I made. You don't have to post thousands of fictional men in heroic action daily to feel good about yourself. That is real strength. When I look at the communities, what I see are 2 very separate things. I see a lot of older men that are secured in their beliefs. I mean, we're talking, They passed away, unfortunately, but Bob Buckland, Isaac Bonowitz, Scott Cunningham. God, come on, think about it. Well, there's so many. And Oberon Zell, that's the guy I was thinking about. These are older gentlemen. They seem to be very secured, and they are able to help so many other people. The exact opposite is a lot of these ladies, especially the TikTok ladies, that are under 20 years old, and they all seem to have started practicing witchcraft at 13 years old. They're snowflakes. They're fluff bunnies. They want to go around and call others baby witches. And they're snowflakes because they fall apart at the first sign of, conflict. There are so many people I've known over the years, a couple I don't even want to talk about, but every time that they are at any time conflicted, they will put their TikToks on private, they'll delete their YouTube videos, they'll even create other channels to get away from the conflict. It's weak. Some of these women have said that they are high priestesses. They want to say that they are amazing, that they should be leading and all, and that us men should not, that we don't measure up to their standards. But yet, when we ask them questions, they just look at us like we're inferior. They do not treat us as equals. They do not treat us with respect. And, we need to be treated with respect. We're people. I try to teach people that respect is not given. It is earned. It is mutual. You treat people as they treat you. Okay? So if all these young women who have been practicing witchcraft since they're 13 years old and they want to say that I don't know what I'm talking about, why in the hell should I be treating them with any respect? Because they're not treating me with respect. They're not treating other men with respect. Okay? So guys, we have to learn ourselves. We have to develop ourselves. We have to stay focused. There are male mysteries out there. How to become a man is the main one. In paganism, there is a lot of talk, and I know all you guys that are pagans have seen the talk of the triple goddess, the maiden, the mother, the crone. And if there can be a triple goddess, there can be a triple god. The stag, the father, the hermit. Okay? Our journey is from being the stag, the horny male, to being a father, raising family, embracing knowledge, experience, and becoming the hermit to help raise our children and our children's children, to build a better society, to build a better world. Okay? That's it. That is our main mission. That is our goal. We don't want our children to be living in hell. We want our children to be living a good life. And to do that, we have to build the good world. We've done it. We've been doing this for thousands of years. Like I said earlier, we built the roads, we built the buildings, we put in the electricity, we got the running water, we got the toilets. Men did that. Men today are a majority of the people that haul the garbage, that are repairmen, they're technicians. They keep our materialistic world going. But they're not getting as much respect as they deserve. So we need to show that we deserve, that we have earned this respect. Women are too wrapped up in their materialistic world. It's all about the money. One last term in Mgtow is 666. This is the demand by most women. They want a man that is 6 foot tall, who has a 6-digit income and a cock that's more than 6 inches long. Okay? And yeah, oh, there's 4 sixes. 6-pack. Okay? They demand all this, but they just show up at the table with whatever they have. But we have to build ourselves. This is what we should be doing as soon as we get out in the world. Should never stop. We should always know what we want to do and do it. Apply this to your beliefs. Now, I'm not saying that if you are a polytheist that you should ignore all the goddesses that may be in your path. You can still honor them because we are men. We are good people. We can do that. But we should kind of start focusing on our gods a little bit more, on the roles that men should be building and following. I'm doing that. Like I said, with the political season in full swing here, I've been doing a lot of reflecting. I used to have a lot of YouTube channels. I deleted over half of them. I just have a few so that I can focus on them. I'm focusing on my writing. I'm doing a lot of writing these days, and I feel good about myself. Whatever your goals are, follow them. If it's exercising, do it. And once you accomplish your daily goals, you're going to feel good about yourself, and you're going to do it more, you're going to do it better, and in time, you are going to be awesome. So I want to end my video right now on that positive note. Like I said, ladies, I'm holding you accountable for some of the craziness that has been thrown around and out in the world. We do deserve to be treated a little bit better than we are being treated. And guys, we sometimes just have to force that situation. Not by violence. We're going to do it as men. Chivalry is dead, yes. But we still live by a code of ethics, by morals, by values. Determine what your morals, values, and ethics are, and be that great example of the person that you can be. Please put your comments below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And everybody, please take care. Be at peace.